Hello, I'm BX2Cat and welcome back to another second channel video. Today I have a vloggy style thing, which isn't something I do very often, really at all, because I'm not really such a big fan of the medium for telling some things, but I think for a personal story it might just fit, and that's why, hello, welcome to a face video, I think you can call these. But yeah, in today's face video, that's a good name for them, I'm going to be talking about memory. So memory is something that a lot of people assume is like a 100% good source of something, but in reality it's not really that at all. If you think you remember an event and it's in there and you recall it, you assume it's perfect. But in reality, that's not true at all. There's a reason historians, like, I don't know, judges, lawyers and stuff, don't count it as 100% proof. And that's because it's kind of terrible. Your memory actually changes over time, and because you're you don't really realize it. And I figured a cool way to explain this would be to share a couple of, cool stories to memory, and in particular I wanted to share one that I've kind of mentioned somewhere on the main channel in a stream somewhere, but I doubt anyone out there has heard the full thing, and also I haven't told this particular part of it. So, yeah, it has to do with a factory slash warehouse that used to be right next to my old house. Many houses ago now. Jeez, I've moved around a lot recently, but yeah, it was lots and lots of houses ago, basically, and I lived there, and when I was like 12 or 11, the abandoned factory had been abandoned for quite some time, and me and a friend had just kind of bored that day. We're like, let's go look around, because it's really, like, there was a massive hole in the fence between my house and the factory, so we just climbed through, and we're like, oh yeah, the bull's there, or, we have some fake excuse or whatever. Then we look around, and we're like, ooh, this is kind of cool. We're looking into this place and we see it's like a massive, just empty, massive room thing that's like kind of cool. We see some stuff in some of the rooms and it's kind of interesting. And I think, we didn't do anything that day. We're just like, ooh, that's kind of interesting. But then we decided to go back another day, maybe with another friend, and we're like, oh, this really is kind of cool. And we managed to wedge open the door, get in, and basically, long story short there is we start to like explore the entire place. It was massive, like massive. And we kind of spend the whole summer there. Like, more friends get involved and it becomes like kind of that summer's thing. Basically, but the main point here is that eventually that ended, and because I think some of our friends went in, they found like a cup of tea, and the tea was warm, so people were clearly in there, and that meant our ruffian behavior and just the abandoned factory. Turns out it wasn't really abandoned, it was just being looked after or something like that. That's the point I just wanted to make here. Basically, it wasn't really an abandoned factory. So with that said, the reason that comes up is because a couple of years later, when I'm in upper school, in this part of the UK, the school system works differently. They're trying to change it, but they still haven't got around to it. But the main point is, when I'm like 13, 14, I mentioned to a couple of new friends I just made in casual conversation, oh yeah, and then there's an abandoned factory by my house, there's this thing. They're like, oh, wait a minute, there's an abandoned factory you used to go in? That sounds cool, let's go there. So we do decide to go there. It's been like at least a year since anyone's even been near the place at this point, because it kind of has been vaguely populated. Like, they've shut off all the doors, they've, tied off all the fence, but we do decide to get in. We have to be kind of sneaky to get in, but we do go inside the place, and where this gets really interesting is, the doors all bolted and stuff, and we decide, let's break a window. I think that's where we're literally breaking and entering to get into a place, but we decide to do it, and one of my friends just at one point is like, tired of all this, just doing this stuff, and he throws I think it must have been like a brick or something through the window, and it's like, oh wow, this is like I'm being like a ruffian, a vandal, it's awesome. And we decide to pull a chair into it, and we climb through the broken glass into the window. It's really cool to be back in this place, because it's like a bit more furnished and stuff. Like, they've changed a lot of stuff, but a lot of stuff is the same from how it used to be. It's pretty cool in my opinion. Basically, yeah, so we're looking around the factory, and we're just kind of, absorbing all the sights and stuff. And as we're doing this, or as we're, like, going back round for the second loop or whatever, one of my friends just points out to because I've been looking around the same place too. He's just like, by the way, there was just police over there. Because obviously we just broke a window. We probably set up an alarm at some point in the place. And then my friend's like, you sure? And then I think back, and my memory, I can literally remember them, but it doesn't, like, it re-clicked into the memory that I'd seen them. Like, I'd literally stared, okay, so, like, we're walking this way, and the windows are on the left there. Fortunately, the police didn't looking at us, because that would have been a bad moment. But, I remember looking that way and seeing them, but just not processing them in time. And I don't think if my friend had mentioned it, I would ever remembered that. And I imagine, or maybe if my mind did that either way, he could have told me, oh, there was aliens out there, and I could have pictured them there either way. Like, it's just so weird to think that my memory shifted, and I could see it happening at the time, and it's something I don't think very many people get to experience. So yeah, if you're wondering how this story finishes, because I was just thinking about this one recently and like kind of reliving the coolness, basically when we realised there was police, we're like, oh, that's quite a few police officers there. So we decided we need to get out immediately. There's only one way out, the broken window, but the police are like there. So we kind of not a window, I think we break open a door. No, we try to break open a door, it doesn't work, so we have to we really had to shuffle around the place. Eventually what we did, I don't remember how we got it. I think we might have been able to, like, open a window from the inside and climb out. But as we're, like, running out this place, we run past the police car. And, yeah, it was... bear in mind, you know, I've just gone into, like, basically 13, 14. This is like the most epic escape ever. Like, you know, because we have just, like I said, that's probably breaking and entering right there. And I thought that was kind of a cool little story. So, yeah, the memory changed literally in my head. And that was just the first cool story I wanted to tell because I was really thinking about it. Another one, like, this happened again, literally in front of my eyes the entire time I was doing it. But I was preoccupied and I didn't realize it. So, I think it was actually one of the same friends. He's like, you know, talking to some, you know, big guy about something. Like, he's proving a point. He was usually the more tough guy, I guess. And basically me and the other friend are talking about Halo or something like that. And while we're talking about Halo, eventually one of our friends drags us, like, you know, do you want to follow that? And we're like, follow what? And he's like, you know, he just got beaten up. And, like, there was a massive fight that happened between these two guys. And, you know, one of them, you know, left because he'd won or something. And the other guy went storming off and the whole group started following. And we didn't really, like, neither of us had seen this entire exchange, despite, you know, imagine being in, like, kind of a circle around them, but we didn't see the whole thing because we're talking about Halo or whatever. And, you know, it's just kind of interesting to me that they're two experiences I can think of, and they're just when I was like 13, 14, 15. It happens so much, and you just don't realize it. So if you're ever in like a crime situation, or if you're thinking back to the good old days, your memory is probably not right. Always like write down or take a picture or something. Wait, can I get a picture on? No, I can't get a picture on screen. I was gonna be like, oh look, try and remember like a random holiday story that I know I have a picture of, but I can't remember the picture, and then show it to you. That'd be some cool test. But yeah, try and do that yourself. Maybe think of a cool memory you know you have a photo of, but you can't really remember the photo. It's a hard one to do, and then go look back at it, and you're like, oh, I'm just wrong. So yeah, that's a vloggy style thing. Just wanted to upload this to talk about that. I think the second channel's been slightly less active recently, but the motto here is second channel, don't care. But yeah, no, for real, I kind of keep this thing, the cool second, like, if I'm not feeling it, I don't upload here, and I don't know if that's the best strategy, but I like it. I really, really do enjoy when I make these videos. I just enjoy talking about that stuff for 7 minutes. So that's what goes on here. I think, honestly, this is slowly turning into a Hearthstone channel, because one of the things I really wanted to talk about was one of the cards that I think is awful, and why it's awful. So I'll probably be doing that some more, to be honest, because those videos, you know, I'm going to pull up the channel page right now. A lot of people have been actually liking those videos, so I'll gauge, like, what people seem to like here, and I'll try and do those, and we'll have to see about that. Oh, also, I know it can't have been because of my video, because it got like 250 views, but still, I mentioned power creep. Oh no, this is the least professional video ever now. I mentioned power creep in a Hearthstone video, and then something like 2 days after, Ben Brode, the guy who's like in charge of Hearthstone, he made a video specifically to talk about power creep and those two cards. And it might have just been that it's that serious an issue that lots of people brought up, but I like to believe that, you know, I was like the 5th video he saw, and I was like, if IBX Toy... No, I don't really believe that. I choose to believe that it was like, IBX Toy Cat agrees with this. Oh, well, I guess we're changing it. So, yeah, I think I've just said far too many words now. So, second channel, don't care. Goodbye. Probably won't be another just vlog for the sake of vlogging for a while. Look at my hand. Like, it might not be on the final video, but on my screen, like, my hand isn't, like, being a fluid movement. It's kind of like you're seeing it, like, kind of stutter in between. What if my hand's not real? Anyway, yeah, I need to stop this. I said I'm going to stop this like 5 times. What if the video never ends? Ooh. Yeah, I've got my finger on the stop button now, and I'm just going to press it at some point in this sentence.